You don't have to have it all figured out, just take the next faithful step. A spiritual reflection on trust, surrender, and the wisdom of moving forward without certainty. In a world that prizes clarity, planning, and control, uncertainty is often treated as a problem to be solved. From an early age, many are taught that success depends on foresight, that we must anticipate outcomes, chart precise paths, and prepare for every possibility before taking action. Hesitation becomes associated with caution, but not knowing becomes associated with failure. Spiritually, however, uncertainty is not an obstacle. It is an essential condition of growth. The idea that you must have it all figured out before moving forward assumes that life unfolds in a predictable, linear manner. It suggests that the future can be known in advance, and that security arises from comprehensive understanding. Yet experience reveals otherwise. Life rarely conforms to our projections. Plans change. Circumstances evolve. Opportunities appear unexpectedly. Relationships shift. Even our own values and aspirations transform over time. In this dynamic landscape, the demand for certainty becomes burdensome. It delays action. It fosters anxiety. It encourages overthinking rather than engagement. You may find yourself waiting for the perfect moment when risks are minimized, information is complete, and outcomes are assured. But spiritually, such a moment seldom arrives. Growth occurs not when uncertainty disappears, but when you learn to move within it. This movement requires faith, not necessarily in a specific doctrine or external authority, but in the unfolding of life itself. Faith in this sense is the willingness to act in alignment with your values even when the path ahead is unclear. It is trust in the process of becoming. To take the next faithful step is to acknowledge that understanding often emerges through participation rather than through analysis. It is to recognize that clarity can follow action, not only precede it. Consider learning a new skill. No amount of theoretical study can substitute for practice. You may read about techniques, observe demonstrations, and imagine potential challenges, but until you engage directly, your understanding remains abstract. Similarly, spiritual development involves experiential learning. You may contemplate purpose, connection, or compassion, but their significance deepens when you embody them through choices, interactions, and responses to challenge. Each step becomes both an action and a revelation. You discover your capacities by using them. You refine your judgment by making decisions. You strengthen resilience by encountering difficulty. In this way, movement generates insight. Waiting for total comprehension can prevent this insight from arising. It can create a cycle of hesitation in which fear of error outweighs the desire for growth. Spiritually, error is not necessarily failure. Mistakes often reveal assumptions that require revision. They illuminate patterns that might otherwise remain unnoticed. They provide feedback that guides subsequent choices. To insist on perfect understanding before acting is to deny yourself the opportunity to learn through experience. Taking the next faithful step does not guarantee success, but it fosters engagement. Engagement invites feedback. Feedback supports adaptation. Adaptation enhances alignment with your evolving values and aspirations. Over time, this iterative process cultivates wisdom. Wisdom differs from information. Information can be accumulated without transformation. Wisdom arises from integration, reflecting on experience and adjusting behavior accordingly. Faithful steps facilitate integration. They encourage you to remain present with uncertainty rather than avoiding it. They invite you to act with intention even when outcomes cannot be predicted. This intentionality distinguishes faithful action from impulsive reaction. A faithful step is guided by reflection, by awareness of what matters most to you. It aligns with your sense of integrity rather than with external pressure or immediate gratification. It may be small. You might initiate a conversation, begin a creative project, explore a new direction in your work, or simply pause before responding to a challenging situation. Each step, though modest, contributes to your trajectory. Trajectories shift gradually. Rarely does transformation occur through a single decisive moment. More often, it emerges through consistent engagement, through repeated choices that reflect your intentions. Spiritual traditions often emphasize practice for this reason. Meditation, prayer, journaling, or mindful movement are not ends in themselves. They are means of cultivating attention. They help you notice when fear constrains action or when attachment to certainty delays participation. Through such practices, you may become more comfortable with not knowing. This comfort reduces the urgency to control outcomes. It allows you to focus on what can be influenced: the quality of your effort, the sincerity of your engagement, the alignment of your actions with your values. Outcomes remain uncertain, but your participation becomes intentional. Intentional participation fosters resilience. When you act faithfully, you are less likely to interpret setbacks as evidence of inadequacy. Instead, you may view them as information indicators that adjustments are needed. This perspective supports perseverance. Perseverance does not require certainty about success. It requires commitment to process. It involves continuing to engage despite incomplete information or unpredictable conditions. Faith sustains this engagement. It reminds you that understanding can evolve, that paths can be revised, that unforeseen opportunities may emerge from unexpected directions. Many meaningful developments, relationships, vocations, creative endeavors arise in ways that could not have been fully anticipated. They begin with a step, not because the entire path is visible, but because movement itself reveals possibilities. Conversations lead to collaborations. Experiments lead to innovations. Attempts lead to discoveries. Each faithful step alters your context. New information becomes available. New connections form. New perspectives arise. Without the initial step, these developments might remain inaccessible. Spiritually, the willingness to move without comprehensive understanding reflects humility. It acknowledges the limits of foresight. It accepts that complexity cannot always be reduced to prediction. Humility encourages openness. Openness invites learning. Learning supports growth. Growth enhances alignment between your actions and your evolving sense of purpose. Purpose is not always discovered through contemplation alone. Often it becomes clearer through participation, through noticing what engages your attention, what contributes to others, what sustains your curiosity. Faithful steps facilitate this noticing. They create opportunities to experience different contexts, to test assumptions, to explore interests. Over time, patterns may emerge. You may recognize recurring themes in what energizes or challenges you. You may identify environments that support your development or relationships that enrich your understanding. Such recognition informs subsequent steps. Thus, the path unfolds incrementally, not as a predetermined sequence, but as an evolving response to engagement. This unfolding reduces the pressure to finalize decisions prematurely. It allows for revision. Revisions are integral to learning. They reflect responsiveness to new information or changing priorities. Spiritually, responsiveness is adaptive. It acknowledges that growth involves transformation not only of circumstance but of perspective. As your understanding deepens, your choices may shift. What once seemed essential may become less relevant. What once seemed daunting may become approachable. Faithful steps accommodate this evolution. They permit movement without demanding permanence. They encourage exploration rather than fixation. Exploration fosters creativity. Creativity enhances problem solving. Problem solving supports resilience in the face of uncertainty. Resilience sustains engagement, and engagement, consistent, intentional, reflective, gradually shapes your experience. In this way, you need not have it all figured out to begin. Beginning itself generates information. Information informs reflection. Reflection guides subsequent action. Action produces further insight. Insight refines intention, and intention directs the next step. Thus, the journey continues not through certainty, but through participation. Each faithful step becomes both a commitment and a discovery, contributing to an unfolding that cannot be entirely known in advance. You move not because the future is guaranteed, but because growth arises through engagement, and engagement begins with a step.